Okay, imagine this. What if your smart fridge could not only tell you you're out of milk, but could actually order and pay for it, all by itself and all completely securely? It sounds a little bit like science fiction, right? Well, it's the future being built right now, thanks to two incredibly powerful technologies coming together, the Internet of Things and blockchain. So let's dive into how this team-up is set to completely rewrite the rules for the world of finance. First, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this. By 2024, it's projected there will be 207 billion IoT devices out there. And we're not just talking about your phone or your smartwatch. No. We're talking about everything. Cars, kitchen appliances, factory sensors, medical devices, a truly massive, interconnected web of things, all collecting and sharing data every single second.
Now, take that gigantic web of devices and connect it to this number. Nearly $47 billion. That's what the blockchain market in finance technology, or Fintech, is expected to be worth by 2030. So, when you put these two massive forces together, this huge network of devices and this revolutionary financial tech, you get the foundation for a whole new way of thinking about money. But how does it actually work?
To really get what's going on, we have to understand the two main players in this story. Because to see why they're so powerful together, we first need to get a handle on what each one does on its own. First up, you've got the Internet of Things, or IoT. Really, it's a pretty simple idea. It's just the network of all those physical objects. You know, your smart thermostat, your car's navigation, a little sensor on a shipping container that have been given the ability to connect to the internet and swap data. You can think of them as the eyes and ears of the digital world. And then we have blockchain. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital record book that's shared across thousands and thousands of computers. Now, its real power comes from two things. First, it's decentralized, meaning no single company, no single bank gets to be in charge. And second, it's immutable, which is a fancy way of saying once a record is written down, it can't ever be changed or erased. This is how you build trust right into the system itself, with no middleman needed.
So, why do we even need to combine these things? What's so wrong with the system we have now? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental flaw in how things are currently set up. It's centralized. And that, it turns out, makes it extremely vulnerable.
The problem, really, boils down to one word: centralization. When we store all of our sensitive financial data in one place, we basically create a giant, juicy target for hackers. It's like painting a bullseye on our most important information, where just one successful breach can be absolutely catastrophic. And when you add in thousands of individual IoT devices, each one a potential weak spot, you realize our current system is just full of security holes. And this is where our two technologies come in to offer a brand new solution. By taking that huge IoT network and building it on top of blockchain's secure foundation, we can create a powerful, decentralized shield to protect all of our financial data.
So how does this shield actually work? Well, it's built on four key pillars. First, instead of one central location, data gets stored across many computers, which gets rid of that single point of failure. Second, any communication happening on the network is heavily encrypted, making it super secure. Third, devices can talk and make transactions directly with each other. We call that peer-to-peer, without needing to go through a central server. And finally, the real magic: smart contracts. These are little programs that automatically carry out transactions once certain rules are met. Think of an automatic payment that only goes through once a delivery is confirmed. What you end up with is a system that's just fundamentally more secure. Because it's decentralized, there's no single weak spot to attack or control. Its immutable nature means you have a perfect, unchangeable audit trail for everything. It's transparent for everyone who's supposed to be looking, and the whole thing is wrapped in layers of powerful cryptographic security. You're not relying on a bank or some other middleman for trust anymore. The trust is literally built into the network itself.
And look, this isn't just some far-off, futuristic idea. It is already happening. Major institutions are putting this to work right now. Take HSBC, for example. They've already integrated blockchain to make their customer identity verification process way faster and a whole lot more secure. But, it's never that simple, is it? Like any powerful, game-changing technology, this one doesn't just create solutions. It also creates a whole host of brand new challenges, especially when it comes to a maze of complex legal questions that we're just now starting to grapple with. The potential uses here are just incredible. We're already seeing this tech used for things like instant international payments, for super secure Know Your Customer identity checks, for tracking products in real time all the way through a supply chain, and even for direct machine-to-machine payments. Seriously,
Just imagine your electric car pulling up to a charging station and paying for its own charge automatically, with no card or app needed. That's what we're talking about. But here's where we hit a massive wall. In Europe, they have data protection laws, like GDPR, that give you the right to be forgotten. That means you can ask a company to delete your personal data. But what did we just say is a core feature of blockchain? Immutability. Records are permanent. So how in the world do you delete something that is, by its very design, undeletable? It's a fundamental showdown between the law and the code.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, if a transaction exists on thousands of computers all over the world, which country's laws even apply? If a decentralized system fails and there's no one in charge, who do you sue for damages? These are the really thorny, complicated questions that lawyers, regulators, and governments are scrambling to figure out right now.
Okay, so with all of those challenges, how do we move forward? How do we unlock the incredible potential of this technology while still managing all these very real risks and legal headaches? Well, the path forward seems to rely on a three-pronged approach. First, we need to create what are called regulatory sandboxes. These are basically safe, controlled environments where companies can test out new tech under government supervision. Second, the entire industry has to get together and collaborate on shared standards. And finally, we have to aim for global standards because the technology this widespread definitely doesn't stop at national borders.
All right, so as we wrap this up, let's just quickly hit the main takeaways. First, putting IoT and blockchain together is a huge, huge leap forward for financial security. But this idea of decentralization is a double-edged sword. It creates amazing new opportunities, but also brand new legal headaches. That means our laws simply have to evolve to keep up. And the only way we're going to get there safely is if the tech innovators and the government regulators work very, very closely together. Which leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. In a future where our smart devices are buying, selling, and trading for us automatically and securely, who or what is ultimately in charge?